join Mr. Conti in offering the amendment before you, and that is to amend Article 11 to delete the 9 parcels listed as GBD 2 and 3 and being downzoned to RG. Those are Canal Street number 11, Clark Street 1517, Clark Street 1820, Glenwood Avenue 6, Richardson Street 68, Richardson Street 911, Water Street 8, Watson Place 2, Watson Place 6. The amendment serves to separate the necessary cleanup work of the slivers as presented in the first part of the motion and the downzoning of the 9 parcels which would be disproportionately affected. Because of the severe impact on these several residents without due process, we feel it makes sense to consider alternative options. In support of the amendment, I'd like to acknowledge the good work of the Planning Board on proposing Article 11. Their job is nearly an impossible one, to respond in real time with zoning solutions to out-of-scale developments from developers who have a long head start and infinite resources. But fixing bad zoning with more bad zoning is not the answer either. When we look at maps and parcels on the giant screen behind us, sometimes it is easy to forget that those parcels represent real people and real families and real homes. Whether they have lived here for 5 minutes or 5 generations, their voice is as important one, and we should be heard. We can't effectively protect neighborhoods without listening to all of our neighbors. Here, I believe the process was both too brisk and too blunt. The downzoned property owners had only a couple of weeks to understand and to react to the proposed zoning changes, which became effective immediately. Typically, these changes happen over many months, if not years. And when I say process, I don't mean going through the motions. I mean the real work of local government, listening, compromising, and working to find solutions together. With added deliberation, I think we would have had several less intrusive and more productive options to protect the neighborhood and all neighborhoods throughout town from large, undesirable development. We could change dimensional requirements, increase setbacks, trigger special permit and design review. Applying these changes uniformly across town will help us stop the cycle of chasing developers and evoke the real planning efforts necessary to preserve our neighborhoods. Because of the limited reaction time we had to respond to the proposed project at 11 Canal Street and the adjacent property, we ran towards an option that was zero-sum. Protect some neighbors by hurting others. Certainly there will be time when that is absolutely necessary, but this is not one of them. Between now and Springtown meeting, the Select Board is committed to working with the Planning Board to find solutions to out-of-scale development and will provide resources wherever necessary. And to be clear, this is an issue of traffic and safety. No piece of the article addresses that. There are no children that are at risk by these zoning changes. But the Select Board will ask the Traffic and Transportation Advisory Committee to add heightened visibility and review to this neighborhood. In recent years, we have been the target of massive gentrification. We have discussed how this community has become an economically gated one, and our affordable housing options continue to tilt in the wrong direction. But what we often don't realize is that for many in our community, their home is their most prized and valuable asset. For many, they have planned their retirement or children's higher education on the value of these properties and continue to invest in our community. And while I realize zoning must change, I believe it must be done incrementally with citizen engagement and not done overnight. If you look at Article 15 and 16, you'll see that we continue to be exposed to unplanned 40B developments when we leave property owners no other options. It's not a great outcome for the town. And finally, if we endeavor to build a caring and connected community, we must be able to cross the street and speak with our neighbors and pursue common solutions. It is not productive and certainly not progressive to attack our neighbors and instill fear to reach a desired outcome, or to go on Facebook or social media and publicly shame people into agreement. Our job as elected members of the community is to represent all members and all residents of the community to improve the lives of everyone to the best of our ability. In the words of the late Senator Wellstone from Minnesota, and this was mine, not Mr. Conti, I don't know if you want me quoting Paul Wellstone, but politics is about the improvement of people's lives and lessening human suffering. I think that's right. And I think Article 11, while certainly well-intentioned, falls short of that second goal. Thank you.